This November, we're celebrating the scholars that you've probably never heard of, but definitely should have. So picture this, it's 1856. A woman stands in a garden in upstate New York with glass cylinders, a thermometer, and an air pump. She's filling these cylinders with different types of gases, regular air, moist air, and carbon dioxide. Then she's placing them in the sun and measuring what happens. It's a relatively simple experiment, but it's still elegant and even, and it's about to reveal one of the most important scientific discoveries in human history. This is Eunice Foote. She wasn't a professional scientist, she was a women's rights activist, an inventor, and a deeply curious person who asked a question no one else had thought to ask. Do different gases trap heat differently? Her experiments showed us that cylinders filled with moist air got hotter than those with dry air, but the real breakthrough was the ones filled with carbonic acid, what we now call carbon dioxide, got the hottest of all, and they stayed hotter for longer. She just discovered the greenhouse effect. And in 1856, Foote presented her findings to the American Association for the Advancement of Science. Except she didn't present them, she wasn't allowed in the room. A male colleague, Professor Joseph Henry, read her papers for her whilst she was outside. Henry started by saying that science shouldn't discriminate based on gender. Then the scientific community proceeded to do exactly that to her. Her paper was published in the American Journal of Science, then was promptly forgotten. 3 years later, Irish physicist John Tyndall published similar findings, and he's the one who's got the credit with discovering the greenhouse effect. For over 150 years, we've been thanking the wrong person, and here's what really gets me. Foote didn't just do the experiment, she understood its implications. In her paper, she wrote that if the atmosphere had contained more carbon dioxide at some point in Earth's history, an increased temperature must have necessarily resulted. She connected her glass cylinders to the planetary climate. She saw the big picture, and history decided to bury it. Why? The obvious answer was sexism, and that's absolutely the part of it. But there's something deeper here about how we construct scientific knowledge. Tyndall had better equipment, institutional backing, and a platform. He was part of the scientific establishment. Foote was a woman doing experiments in a garden. So when the history books were written, they went with the legitimate scientist. This pattern unfortunately wasn't unique to Foote. It was systemic across different scientific institutions of the era. Climate scientists are pushing to give Foote her rightful recognition. But think about what we lost, a century and a half of attributing this foundational climate science discovery to the wrong person. How many young women might have been inspired by Foote's story? Every climate report, every COP summit, every protest were grappling with the crisis that Eunice Foote identified in 1856. Perhaps if we'd listened to the woman with the glass cylinders, we might have started talking about it seriously and sooner. So keep learning and keep questioning.